yet. It doesn't have the same memory capacity, and the building blocks haven't been put together. But it's already superhuman narrow capability in many narrow areas. So it's inevitable, I think, what happens next.
We glossed over his quote there, discover new physics. Wouldn't surprise me if it's this year, certainly no later than the end of next year. Alex Wisner-Gross has been having a field day with that all day.
I bet.
First of all, what does it mean to discover new physics? That's pretty interesting by itself.
Well, I mean, Alex has been saying we're going to solve all of math, and then physics comes next. Chemistry and biology follow quickly. I mean, this is the most exciting, for me, this is the most exciting thing of these models are, will they literally unwrap the president of the universe before us right here, right now, during our lives in the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, there's a couple of specific applications that I think I've been watching. I want to see an AI break and solve the quandary of the wave-particle duality of light. That would be interesting. And seeing what exactly is going on in this. The second one would be molecular manufacturing, and how do we new techniques for doing molecular manufacturing? Because you crack that, then you crack all assembly and manufacturing of all kinds, right? And then the cost of anything becomes about $1 a pound per weight. A computer, $1 a pound.
Yeah,
and now you're in an amazing space.
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, going back to Ray Kurzweil's predictions, right? How he does it, I still, he's mentored you, he's mentored me, but, his predictions that we're going to have nanotech in the early 2030s, where is it? Well, this is probably its parents.
Yeah. Well, the one that's really fun to think about, the quantum teleportation, Peter, that you brought up at one of our enterprise meetings. So how do you reconcile the fact that two entangled particles can be infinitely far apart, yet still communicating in real time, with the fact that the speed of light can't be transcended? So Alex's speculation is, if we can solve physics in the next year or two or three, and it turns out that you can communicate using quantum teleportation, that we instantly discover all these other intelligences around the universe.
Yes. Yeah, we've just been listening at the wrong frequency with the wrong codecs. Yeah. These are the key takeaways. I'm going to just read these out loud, and we can talk about them. They spent just as much on fine-tuning, training the AI after the initial phase, as they did on pre-training. So that's a big change. Imad, you want to dissect that for us?
Yeah, so it used to be that everything was basically, you take a snapshot of the internet and then you put it into this giant supercomputer mixer and it figures out all the connections, the latent spaces, to guess the next word. Then you had this very weird AI that came out that was a little bit crazy. It's like a disheveled graduate student without his coffee. And then you had to tidy him up with the reinforcement learning. That was the post-training. And that was 1% of the compute. Then with DeepSeek, it was 10% of the compute. And now it's moved to equal because they figured out how to chain reasoning strips. And in fact, I think part of what they did, we've seen this with other labs, is they used their frontier model to make data for the next frontier model. So having large amounts of compute to create your own training data in a structured manner allows you to take that latent space, the landscape, and make it smarter and smarter and smarter. Just like your brain adapts as you learn more and more reasoning, as you see more and more things. And so rather than having to have these massive scrapes of the internet or whatever, it's more and more structured data making up these models, which is making them smarter reasoners.
So the 50% additional compute dedicated to the fine tuning, does that mean we have a more sane version of Grok?
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. It doesn't necessarily mean that, because you can still get all sorts of mode collapse within it in terms of if the latent space goes, but probably because, again, you're training it just on a certain field of things as opposed to Reddit and other things. In terms of order, I'd say this is probably like $100 million each. So it probably adds up to one meta AI researcher. Yeah,
a new unit of measure in the AI world. That's funny. So let's comment on the cost here. $3 per million tokens, $15 per million output tokens, and can handle long context windows of 56,000 tokens. How does that measure up, Dave, in your mind?
Well, it's pretty normal these days. It's a longer context window. A lot of the claimed context windows aren't real. Under the covers, the dimension of the neural net is much smaller than the claimed context window. So I suspect, at this scale that this is the true dimension of the network, but I don't really know. We'll have to dig in over the next couple of days and find out. But, what it means is, you can feed in 100 books worth of information concurrently. It instantly digests all that knowledge and then gives you an intelligent answer based on all of that information in one pass. So it's just the next step in what's been going up sequentially from model to model to model.
Imad, do you expect we're going to be constantly reducing the price per token? Is this a demonetizing curve for a while to come?
100%. I mean, so the cost of this is about the same as the cost of Claude 4 Sonnet, which is the second model of Anthropic, or O3's cost, but it's better than both. It's about 0.7 words per token, to give you an idea. And so the cost of 1 million very good words that are smart is $20. But next year with Vera Rubin, the next generation chip they're going to whack in there, just by the hardware, it'll be 3 times to 4 times cheaper. And they'll probably figure out some more stuff around that. So intelligence, the cost probably drops by around 5 to 10 times a year. So it'll be $1 for 1 million amazing words.
It's hard to believe the most powerful technology in the world is de minimis in cost. It's crazy. I want
to put a comparator though here. We this is amazing. Like we could put hundreds of our books into the thing and it would hold all of that in real time, as Dave said. But let's note that a single human cell has several billion operations going on in it at any point in time, right? So we're kind of multiple orders of magnitude from modeling one cell. And so we've got a long way to go try and model life or get to really big things.
There's a coming wave of technological convergence as AI, robots, and other exponential tech transform every company and industry. And in its wake, no job or career will be left untouched. The people who are going to win in the coming era won't be the strongest, it won't even be the smartest. It'll be the people who are fastest to spot trends and to adapt. A few weeks ago, I took everything I teach to executive teams about navigating disruption, spotting exponential trends a decade out, and put them into a course designed for one purpose: to future-proof your life, your career,